Casting can take hours of watching videos to find the right texture. But what if AI could do it all for you? In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to set up AI automation which checks audition tapes for smiles, emotions, and even more automatically. So how it works? Let's imagine now I'm advertising agency and I'm looking for a right person for my chocolate ad. I'm quite sure the person I'm looking for should be child, he should be emotional, he should smile. As there will be a few video tapes, it should be rated. So as an example, I'm going to take this cool Doritos ads. It more or less works for my criteria, so I'm going to download it. I'm going to upload it to my Google Drive, and after waiting for a while, I can check that automation worked out, and in Airtable I see the record for this specific example with criteria set up and comments from AI as well. So before getting started, remember to subscribe to our channel. Remember, you can find detailed guide for this lesson in our community, and as always, feel free to share your ideas in comments. For full implementation of this tutorial, you will need a few things set up. It's N8N account, it's Gemini API key for AI purposes, it's Airtable database, and it's Google Drive storage. So now let's get started and review the scenario step by step. In the first place, I've got Google Drive trigger. It watches for created files in specific folder on Google Drive. In my case, it's called video resumes. The next step is Gemini HTTP request. What it does is sends downloaded file to Google service to be processed by AI. For the reasons of simplicity, I'm going to sound only whatever you need to change here. And the first thing you need to change here is API key. Over here, you will need to set up your Gemini API key. Except for that, you need to just keep in mind that there are a few parameters to be sent, which is first of all content length in this header, then content type, which also goes from Google Drive step, and over here JSON body with name of the file which you're sending. It's also going from the first step. In the next step, we are going to download file from Google Drive. Here there is nothing really complicated. We just pass the file ID from the very first step from Google Drive trigger. Then we're going to upload file to Gemini. To do so, we need to make post request to the URL which goes from previous Gemini step for generation of upload URL. You can check out that in this specific request, in response you have in headers Google upload URL, and this is the URL where you're going to upload your file. Here you also need to set up your key, which will go over here. You will set content length again, which again goes from the very first step, and here we're going to specify that we are sending binary file which goes from input data field name data. After this step done, I'm going to save values. First of all, I'm going to save Gemini file URL which goes from the previous step. It's over here. I'm going to save meme type from also the previous step. It's over here. Then Google Drive URL which also goes from the very first Google Drive trigger, and file name which also goes from the Google Drive trigger. I'm saving all this information to send it in workflow below, which is over here, and later to save in Airtable. Next, as I need to wait for file to be uploaded to Google servers, I'm setting this wait module, which is 1 minute length, and in this case it's 1 minute because I don't really upload huge files. It's usually no more than 1 to 4 minutes, and so it's fine to set it up like 60 seconds. Next, I'm executing the workflow. Over here I'm using the very same scenario which I'm working in now, because I would like this bottom flow to be executed when I pass this data. Once the data will be sent over here, the trigger will work out, and the first step here is setting prompt. Here at high level, I'm specifying the prompt for AI, and I'm explaining that I'm an advertising agency. I'm reviewing audition tape for child actor to star in our chocolate campaign. Below, I'm specifying criteria which are important for me. We are looking for a child, we're looking for a smiling child, like for emotional. Then additionally, I'm asking for thoughts about this actor, and I'm asking for a rate from 1 to 10. This prompt is going to be used in the next step. In this step, I'm going to send a request to Gemini to ask questions. Over here, you will need to set up your API key, and depending on your purposes, you're going to manipulate JSON body content. Let's review my content step by step. Over here, I'm passing our prompt set up in the previous step. I'm passing file data, and here is a meme type, which I set up in top workflow. There is file URL, and this is the URL which we generated at this step. And below there is generation config, which is pretty much the same as response type in case of OpenAI ChatGPT requests. So here I'm specifying that I need response schema. The response schema type is array, and items type will be object with properties of my criteria. First of all, we're looking for a child, then like smiles, look emotional, then additional comments and rating. If we look for executed successfully workflow, we can see that reply from Gemini related to our last video is looking like that. So I'm getting the list of parameters exactly in the schema I specified, and now I can use it in the next step, which is Airtable creating record. Here I'm going to use operation create record, and below in the values to be sent I'm going to use the name of the file, and this is the name which I passed over here. Then Google Drive link also going from the same source, and then the rest of the parameters are going from Gemini response. And you can see that to unparse it, you can see that to parse it I'm using JSON parse operator, and afterwards in brackets I'm passing the value from Gemini. This logic repeats for the rest of the parameters to here. Now let's experiment with that a bit and see it in action. Let's imagine we got this audition tape. This is piece from famous movie Scarface. Definitely not the best option for chocolate ads, but let's see what AI says about this. So as always, I'm going to download it, I'm going to upload it to my Google Drive, and finally I'm going to run the automation with the file. A minute later I can see that the results are done. If I check my Airtable, I can see that like it doesn't go through all the criteria. It's definitely not a child. It doesn't smile at all. The rating is 1, and let's see the comments from AI, and it says that this actor is not a good choice for this campaign. Definitely. It's fun. Then I found one more video to test out. Interested to check it out. I'm going to upload it to Drive, and finally when it's executed I check my Airtable. I can see that everything filled in, and let's check out comments from AI for this one. The child is a good choice. She delivers her lines naturally and believably. So AI thinks that in general it's a good choice, but still it supposes it's 8 out of 10. Let it be. By the way, thinking about ideas around this, audition tapes is the best one which came to my head, but I'm wondering what your ideas are. So feel free to share your thoughts in comments. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you again.